Today in our 2008 Lexus RX 350, we'll be installing the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with 4-pole flat trailer connector, part number C55563.
Now when we want to hook up to our trailer, all we have to do is open our hatch cover like so, stick our 4-pole flat off to here on the side of our latch. We can secure our cover there for our cargo hold. And we can close our hatch. You can see it's tucked off to the side here. It's easily accessible when we hook up to our trailer, giving us all of our required lighting functions that we need by law. So when we get to where we're going, and we have unhooked from our trailer, we can just open our hatch, open up our storage compartment again, and store a wire down inside. Close it on up, and it's secured up and out of the way. And we don't have to worry about it being damaged when we're loading our hatch area ever when we're not towing a trailer. And it keeps it out of the elements, so you don't have to worry about getting corroded or contaminated from dirt and debris. Now, if you wanted to decide to mount your connector on the outside of the vehicle for more permanent installation, it does come with this included dust cover here, which slides over your connector, just like so, and helps protect it from dirt and debris. Here's what our wiring kit comes with. We have our converter box here, and what this converter box will do is give us our 4-pole flat trailer lighting functions, so we can have our DOT approved trailer lights. We have our T connectors here that'll tap into the vehicle's factory wiring, and this will isolate it because we'll supply this unit with direct power from our battery, so we don't put any extra load on the vehicle system. This converter box will prevent voltage from being backfed from the trailer into the lighting system of our vehicle, causing damage. We have our fuse holder here, which will connect to our vehicle's battery. Nice long roll of wire to reach from the back to the front to connect the battery. Fuse to go in our fuse holder. Ring terminal to go around our battery post. A couple butt connectors to make our connections. So we have 3 connectors here that we'll tap into. This green one's for our right turn signal. This yellow and brown one is for our left turn signal and left tail light. This red one here will be for our brake light. So now that we've gone over what's included with our kit, we'll show you how to install it. Begin our installation by opening our rear hatch. We'll remove our factory accessory floor mat, if we have one. We'll set it aside. We'll press these 2 buttons here to open our hatch. We'll lift out this tray. There's a couple push pins on the side here. You use a flathead screwdriver or trim panel tool to remove these. With those 2 undone, just lift it on out. Now we're going to open our spare tire tool cover here. Take out our tire iron. So it has an adapter that you stick onto it, and then you use this one. You don't need the tire iron. We're just going to lower the spare tire down a little bit. Now we'll remove this grommet plug right here, and this will give us a hole that we can run our power wire on through to the front. Now we'll take a small flathead screwdriver and remove our cover panels here behind our tail lights on both the driver and passenger side. Now we'll remove our center section trim panel here by taking out these 2 clips on both sides. Make sure there's no hardware underneath, and there isn't. We'll pull up on it, lift out, set it aside. We'll move this piece here first by taking off this clip here. Then we'll undo this one here too. Pull this piece out like so. We'll undo this panel here. And that gives us the room to run our wires now. We'll do the same on the passenger side. Now right back here is our connector that we need on the driver's side. Take our trim panel tool here, pop loose that connector. We'll press our locking tab right here down. May need a screwdriver for this. Push in on it, pull, and release. We'll take our yellow connector here, feed it up behind our carpet. With our connector behind our carpet, we'll plug in our connectors here. Find our other one again. Plug it in. And we'll tuck this up out of the way. Push our carpet back on down. We'll take our module box here and we're gonna attach our wire at this point in time. Take our wire lead coming off our junction box, strip off a little bit more of the insulation. We'll take our yellow butt connector that's provided in the kit, place it on down the wire, and we'll crimp it into place. Just like so. Make sure it's secure, which it is. Take our loop of wire here, we'll unravel it, make sure there's no tangles or knots in it. Take one end and we'll feed it on down through the grommet here. I'll just drop it all the way down. Okay, once we have that fed through, we'll grab the rubber plug, we'll make a notch in it to install our wire through, and we'll reinstall it. As you can see, it's a real nice tight fit, so we won't have to worry about any water, dirt, debris, or exhaust fumes getting inside of our vehicle. I'll plug that back in its place like so. Take our one end that's sticking out, strip off some of the insulation, and we'll crimp it into the other end of our butt connector, go into our module. Then we'll wrap up our connection in electrical tape. Now we'll take our module here, apply our double-sided tape to it, and stick it down in place. Peel off the other side. Now we'll take our module, flip this panel up here, and we'll just stick it down on the floor out of the way. Now we'll peel back our passenger side panel, and we'll pop off our plug here, pressing our tab here. Okay, with that unhooked, we'll plug in our two large connectors for our turn signals. This other one here goes for our stoplight. You'll find that one connected to the back of the taillight assembly. So got it unplugged now. Feed this red wire on up behind our carpet and in this compartment. Plug in the connector here. Then we'll plug in this end back to the taillight. And that completes our connections to the factory wiring in the back of the vehicle. All right, so now we're underneath our car. You can see where our power wire came out from in our hatch area. We went ahead and started routing the power wire towards the front of the vehicle. Now when you do this, you want to make sure you avoid any moving parts or sources of heat. All right, so we went up and over our rear subframe, making sure we avoided the rear axle here. Went to the side of our gas tank, and we secured it to a parking brake cable right to the side of the gas tank with a zip tie. Went along the side of the gas tank, along the parking brake cable, went over this shield here, still secured to the parking brake cable. Made sure we didn't secure it here because these parts of the parking brake cable move. Brought it over to some fuel lines, zip tied it to those. Came up here, zip tied again. And now we're at our firewall. So now we'll drop down our pull wire using a piece of old Airline tubing we had laying around. You could use a coat hanger. So I got it dropped down below our brake lines here, behind our brake booster. We can reach down underneath now and pull it out of the skid plate. So here's where our pull wire came out. Tape it to the end of our pull wire like so. All right, we'll take our pull wire, pull our wire into our engine bay. It's always a good idea to have a look underneath, make sure you don't have any knots tangled up. Now we'll remove our cover over our positive battery terminal here, set it aside, tuck our wire up underneath our air box a little bit so it's not in the way of whoever needs to service it. Measure off how much we're going to need. And we'll cut off the excess. Right there will be fine. Strip off some of the insulation. Take a yellow butt connector, install it over the wire, crimp it down into place. Take our included fuse holder, strip off a little bit more of the insulation than what's already given to you. Install it to the other end of the butt connector. Crimp it down as well, and wrap it in electrical tape. Strip off a little bit more insulation from this end, and we'll attach the ring terminal. Crimp that down. Now that we got that crimped down, we'll remove the positive terminal nut right here on our battery post. It's a 12mm. Place the ring terminal over it, reinstall the nut, tighten it back down. Now we can install our fuse into the fuse holder. Once it's pushed in all the way, we'll close our cap off here, and we're going to secure our wire right here to this line, go into our power steering fluid reservoir, just so it doesn't fall down. Okay, and we'll cut off the excess. Now we'll go test all of our connections before we put our hatchback together. Okay, so I have a 4-pole flat trailer connector plugged into our harness right now. If you want to purchase one of these, it's available on our website as part number I-26. So I'm going to go ahead and turn our headlights on our Lexus. Now I'm going to turn on our left turn signal, turn our right one on, and I step on the brake pedal. And with that being done, we know we have working tail light, brake lights, and turn signal functions for our trailer. Now that we've verified all of our functions work, we can raise our spare tire back up. We can put our tools away. We'll put in back all our plastic fasteners that we removed that held our carpet in place. And all of our plastic panels. It's a good idea to zip tie this wire up here underneath the threshold so you don't have to see it. We'll reinstall our center section here. Kind of just slides into place like so. We'll have our wiring for our 4-pole flat. It's kind of tucked right here. And got this pushed back in. We'll reinstall our 2 clips that hold it in place. Reinstall our access cover plug here for our spare tire. Now if our trunk all put back together, you can see our 4-pole flat trailer connector. We can store down here nice and easily out of the way. Close our hatch covers here.
And that completes our installation of the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with 4-pole flat trailer connector, part number C55563, on our 2008 Lexus RX 350.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.